A special court hands down its first set of decisions about a possible link between autism and vaccinations. CNN Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta just finished sifting through this massive amount of documentation regarding just one decision, Sanjay.
That's right. And there were 3 test cases at the special court, colloquially known as the vaccine court, complete with special masters and everything, looking at these 3 test cases, trying to figure out. Now, let me get to the headline. As you point out, there's a lot of work that's been done here. This is just one of the cases. The headline is that there was no causal relationship demonstrated between vaccines and any of the autism-like symptoms in any of these 3 test cases. Wow. That's the headline. Let me give you some specifics here. There were 3 cases. Some of these families, at least one of them, we followed in the past. The Cedillos, for example, they had this to say: petitioners have not demonstrated they are entitled to an award on Michelle's behalf. Michelle is the 14-year-old daughter of the Cedillos. Regarding the Hazlehursts, this language is important. The combination of the thimerosal-containing vaccines and the MMR vaccines are not causal factors in the development of autism. That was the second one. And the third one, they say petitioners have failed to establish any of the factors necessary to prove that the vaccines caused autism. I want to read one thing to you that I thought was very interesting and maybe a little bit, maybe it was a little sarcastic on behalf of the people who read this down. They said, to conclude that this condition was the result of the MMR vaccine, an objective observer would have to emulate Lewis Carroll's White Queen and be able to believe 6 impossible or at least highly improbable things before breakfast.
Wow.
They're saying no, no, no.
Yeah.
And let me say one more thing. With regard to this court, the standard by which they had to prove something was not cause and effect. It was simply what they call biological plausibility. Could the MMR vaccines or the other vaccines possibly have caused autism? They are saying not proven in any of these cases.
So not even as strict of a standard as you would think that you would have to show that evidence.
That's right. That's right. And there were really 3 questions they were trying to answer. And they haven't answered all of them yet. But do MMR-containing vaccines and thimerosal-containing vaccines in combination cause autism? Do MMR, which is measles, mumps, rubella vaccines, cause autism all by themselves? Those questions, at least based on these 3 test cases, they're saying no.
Okay, so do me a favor, because there are a lot of parents out there. The questions I got just in the makeup room today about this were wide-ranging. If you are sitting at home and you are watching this right now and you do not have the many hundreds of pieces of paper in front of you to read this, what do you take away from it? Do you make a different decision about vaccinating your children than you may have prior to this?
Well, you know, I think the advice probably remains the same that people have been giving, their doctors have been giving their patients. Talk to their doctors about it. Keep in mind, these special masters are not physicians, they're not scientists. They're basically looking at evidence based from petitioners who are on behalf of the family, and they're looking at expert evidence and sort of trying to weigh those 2 things and basically making a judgment based on these 3 test cases. I don't think this is particularly surprising, what we're hearing today. I think this is sort of what a lot of people expected to hear, so I don't think anything's really going to change. But still, a lot of families obviously concerned about this. Talk to their physicians. We did hear about the case of Hannah Poling last year, where the government conceded that vaccines may have injured her and caused autism-like symptoms. So
but that was a different case.
Well,
yes?
The confusing part about that case was people would argue that, look, did she have some sort of underlying condition which was simply worsened by the vaccines? Or did the vaccines cause this completely de novo? I'm not sure that's an answer that we still have fully yet, and I think that's been confusing to people. But with regard to these 3 test cases, which were supposed to speak for a larger number of cases across the board, they've come back today and said no, no, no. I bet you we're going to hear a lot more about this in the days to come. People are going to say, as they really analyze all these documents and try and find out exactly what they said, not all the petitioners, not all the experts agreed on every single point, but the bottom line conclusion, no relationship, at least by their standards.
Okay, understood. Fascinating stuff, and I think you're right. We're going to be talking about this for many, many days now. Our Chief Medical Correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, breaking down this decision for us. Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you.